Economic Development, October 16th, 2025.
I call Economic Development to order at 6:05 PM. First up is public participation. Seeing none, we have open projects. Oh, members present. Oh, I totally forgot. I don't have an agenda, so. Members present, Terry Spiegel, Chris Moritz, Vicky DeShawn, and myself, Clarissa Slater, Chair. Now public participation. Seeing none, we're on to open projects. Anyone have anything for open projects?
At our last meeting, at our September 18th meeting, Mr. Spiegel, you were going to talk to the administration to see if...
Not done that yet.
Okay.
The CED.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone have anything else for open projects? Hearing none, public participation? All right. Hearing none, adjourning at 6:07.
Committee, October 16th, 2025.
Call a Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:07 PM. Members present are James Me, Christopher Moritz, Vicky DeShawn, and myself, Chair. Any public participation for Finance? Seeing none. First up is investment policy. And the auditor stepped out of the room, I just see. One moment.
That first too fast for us.
Apparently so, yeah.
Maybe she had to pee.
Oh.
You should have answered it.
Hello?
You should have answered it.
Aaron went to look to see. Sorry, we started and then I looked up and saw you weren't here. We are.
So I said, yeah, first one got too fast.
So we
That
called
messes all up,
ourselves to
yeah.
order. There was no public participation and the first item is the investment policy.
Is there anything that needs to go through and go to committee to report on this?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Sorry. Okay. Through the investment policy. So I have attached to your packets an updated version of the investment policy that was provided to me by Eileen Stanek from Meter Investments. It just changes the policy to bring it more in line with what the ORC requires now. So she just requested if we could adopt that, and then a resolution should be attached, which we would like to pass. And that's it for the investment policy.
Did they also send a sample piece of legislation for a resolution?
Yes, it should be at the
Okay, I
end
see
of
it.
that,
It was,
yeah.
yep, it was stuck to the back.
Kelly's name up there again.
Yep.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this something that we do every year?
It is not.
Okay. And the only reason I ask that is because in the resolution sample, where it talks about that the recent version of this policy is dated May 3rd, 2016.
Yes.
Okay. So it's been almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Any further questions from you?
No questions, but I do have comments on the resolution draft.
Have at it, you got the floor.
First off, after now therefore, it states be it ordained. That should say be it resolved, since it's a resolution. Up in the top right-hand corner, we should place Finance Committee. Then, of course, under attest, we'll have our new council clerk's name because this is not an emergency piece. So she will be signing that as clerk. Kurt's name, we need to put A in for his middle name, Kurt A. Fankhauser. Same thing with the mayor, Bruce D. Truca. And those are the only changes that I see.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Mee, do you have any questions or comments?
No, looks good.
Mr. Moritz?
No, I do not.
All right, that I would entertain a motion requesting legislation and that adopts the investment policy.
Is that emergency or not?
It is not.
So moved.
Second, with the changes that Vicki mentioned.
Yeah, well, we're just requesting the legislation, so we'll get it back. All right, I have a motion by Mr. Mee, a second by Mr. Moritz. Any further discussion? All right, Mr. Mee?
Yes.
Mr. Moritz?
Yes.
Mrs. DeShawn?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that motion carries. All right, next up is the transfer.
My question to you, are you then asking for the law director to bring this piece back to our next committee meeting for us to approve the amendments, or?
I'm okay with it just gets emailed to all of us, and if we, as long as none of us have issues with it, it could be on the next council
Great.
meeting agenda.
And that-
I'm okay
and
with
I'm
that.
fine. I'm
Are
fine
you
with
all
that.
right with that?
That would be a meeting.
Huh?
That'd be a meeting.
She meant at the next finance committee meeting. And my answer was no. I think that if we all get it emailed to us prior to the next council meeting,
Gotcha.
then we're okay.
Like more than 24 hours in advance prior.
Yeah.
We had 3 weeks.
Okay, next up is the transfer in Waterworks and Parks Fund.
So the transfer in the Parks Fund is what I have first in the packet. It would be removing $10,000 from Fund 250 Parks and Recreation Land, Department 7770 Lands and Buildings, and under item contractual services 23, $10,000, placing it into the same fund, 250 Parks and Recreation Land, same program, different program, 7310 Parks and Playgrounds, and under item line 21 Personal Services, that $10,000.
Okay. And the transfers can both go on the same piece of legislation, so did you want to go through the other transfer as well?
That's fine with,
Or do you want them to be separated?
well, I don't, so Alyssa had already prepared the legislation for this one, but because of everything, but I'm sure we can add it in there because it'll save us money in the long run, so we'll just do that.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sure she won't mind. The second transfer would be in the Waterworks Fund. It's for the payment of the Water System Improvement Bond Series 2025. It would be in Fund 701 Waterworks, under Program 7525 Distribution, removing the $20,000 from item line 21 Personal Services, putting it into Fund 701 Waterworks, under Program 7910 Debt Retirement, and item line 26 Debt Retirement, that $20,000.
Mrs. DeShawn, any questions for the auditor?
No.
Mr. Mee?
Nope.
Mr. Moritz?
No.
All right, so I will entertain a motion requesting emergency legislation for 2 transfers, one being from Fund 250, Department 7770, item 23, in the amount of $10,000, moving that to Fund 250, Department 7310, item 21, Personal Services. The other transfer being from Fund 701, Department 7525, item 21, moving $20,000 to Fund 701, Department 7910, item 26. Again, requesting emergency legislation.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Mrs. DeShawn and a second by Mr. Moritz. Any discussion? Hearing none. DeShawn?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
Me?
Yes.
I'm also yes, motion carries. All right, next up are the appropriations in the general fund and Fund 270.
Okay, so in the general fund, number 1 would be for the street lighting. So that would be for the electric bill. So Fund 101, Program 1, Security of Persons and Property, under Department 7120, Street Lighting, and under item line 23, Contractual Services, appropriating $30,000. Then the following are appropriations for refunds in the general government area, sorry. It's auditor's office incidentals and to fulfill contracts until the end of the year in the general government portion of the general fund. So Fund 101, Program 7, General Government, Department 7712, Administration, under item line 99, refunds, the amount of $7,000. Under Department 7715 and 7716, Auditor, under item line 24, Materials and Supplies, $3,000. Under Department 7780 and 7781, General Government, under item line 23, $20,000 for appropriations. Now we're in the general fund, and we're starting at the 270 Local Fiscal Recovery Special Revenue Fund. It would be under Department 7525 Waterworks Distribution and item line 25 Capital Outlay appropriating $35,000.
All right, Mrs. DeShawn, any questions for the
No.
auditor? Mr. Me?
No.
Mr. Moritz?
No.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion requesting emergency legislation for the following appropriations in Fund 101, Program 1, Department 7120, Item 23, the amount of $30,000. In Fund 101, Program 7, Department 7712, Item 99, the amount of $7,000. In the same fund and program, Department 7715 and 7716, Item 24, the amount of $3,000. Still in the same fund and program, Department 7780 and 7781, Item 23, the amount of $20,000. And lastly, in Fund 270, Department 7525, Item 25, the amount of $35,000, again requesting emergency legislation.
So moved as an emergency.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Me and a second by Mr. Moritz. Any discussion? Hearing none. Me?
Yes.
Moritz?
Yes.
DeShawn?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that motion carries. The agreement for the income tax with county, we addressed that on Tuesday. Is there anything further?
I put it on there because I remember Brandon had referred it. I didn't know if he wanted to add anything at this point in time or,
Not at this time, no.
okay.
The September 30th meeting, it was referred this second clerk position, so Kelly had originally brung this to me, and reason being was because she knew she was going to be taking a different job, and she was going to stay until through November, and she wanted to have the other person, the new clerk, come in as like the second clerk so that she could train her. Well, now that Kelly's no longer with us, I still think that the second position would be beneficial so that we could possibly have Kelly come back and train this new clerk.
One thing we did years ago that I think we could do without creating a new position and changing the billet is you could contract with her as a 1099 outside contractor, and I think you as a department head would have that authority to do that as long as there was money in the line item of the budget to cover that, and we wouldn't have to do anything on our end.
Auditor, does that sound like something that can be done?
I would have to check the budget.
But I mean, as far as the legalities of the 1099ing,
You might, I don't know if you've talked to her or checked with her first. I know there were times like when Mr. Spiegel was an outside contractor with the city of Bucyrus, it benefited him to set up an LLC. So I'm not certain what that would take on her end if she would be in agreement to it.
I do believe there is some kind of a little bit of budget for some sort of outside contracts, so there might be a little bit of money there.
Have you spoken to her about that yet? And my question, my follow-up question is if yes, does she have intentions of wanting to start that prior to our next meeting on November the 3rd?
I haven't specifically spoke with Kelly, but the new incoming clerk was well on board with somebody coming in and helping train her.
If it turns out that we need to transfer money, I would say we could probably hold a special.
So I would think that the normal salary line item, since we didn't have a clerk for at least 2 months, that money could maybe be moved into that contract line.
That's
Yeah.
very possible.
Can you do that without council since it's within the same department?
No, because it's within a different
Okay.
item. I will say too, in case you want just to keep in mind, or if we have a different idea, I believe Jim talked to the Clerks Association, and I believe they give hours of training and things like that as well. I'm not sure the
They've
cost,
done that
but-
when we've hired a past couple, the Municipal Clerks Association, and then the OML also had somebody, so both of those. And then there was
Okay.
somebody from the Documents on Demand company that came in. There were several outside people that came in free of charge to the city. But I think in this instance, if we need to legally move any money, couldn't we just throw together quickly a special council meeting next week if we found that we needed to do that?
Well, I would think we would have to, I think it would typically have to go through the regular channels where it have to be referred as a appropriation or transfer, go to committee, then have a special. Yeah, I mean, we could, if you wanted to set up a meeting.
Well, I think we could suspend the rules and just bring it forth from the council floor.
Okay.
If it came to that, if the
That's fine.
president's so amenable to that.
Is one of these pieces you just,
Nothing related to the council, no.
it's not like a budget line stuff change?
It is, but it would have, I mean, I guess it would be something like what I gave today, but nothing that we, asked for legislation is part of, I guess, okay.
Because
So
I'm just
I
thinking if
refund-
it could all be thrown on the same piece of legislation, if you're already doing a transfer or not, well, I don't know what the technical term is, but instead of passing one piece of legislation to do it for something else, and then we come back and do it again for this, if they could all be on the same, because it's just a budget moving of money.
Okay, so are you asking, I mean, I could email if you guys like, it wouldn't be, so you're asking it to be a part of the transfers that we're passing tonight?
If it's possible, I mean, it would save us from having to pay for 2 newspaper.
Is that something that you could determine a ballpark number of dollars that you need in that line?
Well, here's what I was just out of my head, just thinking, knowing that we didn't have a clerk for 2 months, I would assume there's at least $5,000 extra dollars there in the employee salary line. So my idea would then be move that to the contract line. So
If we're just,
It's-
let me pull up the budget.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Now, when you say that we didn't have a clerk for 2 months,
what on the payroll? We didn't have a clerk on the payroll, so the trial balance money wasn't deducting because there was nobody getting paid out of that line item.
but was payment not made to Lisa Stuckman when she was serving as clerk pro tem?
No, there's no.
Oh,
they
because I
didn't
thought
get anything.
that there was that talk of that
Well,
happening.
even if they had, it would have been a small, minute percentage of
just
their
asking.
normal hours. So yeah, I think Kurt's right, there should well be $5,000 plus in there.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the budget ordinance really quickly so we can still go through the motions of me saying it and it being
Absolutely,
recorded.
yeah.
Okay, so we want to transfer $5,000 from under general fund, general government 101, under department 7735 and 7736 council from item line 21 personal services to item line 23 contractual services in the amount of $5,000.
Okay, so, Mrs. DeShawn, you had, well, do we need a new motion since it already passed? We can't amend it now.
You could make a motion to invalidate your last request and then re-request it new with that new.
Okay, so,
Mr. You should probably just ask to reconsider or to bring it up and amend it, because if you do it that way, you can't cancel out like something you already voted yes for. Everyone voted unanimous, right?
we did.
Yes.
Or you could have a reconsider vote and invalidate the last.
You can't reconsider it because there was no dissent.
nay.
You would just, all you'd have to do is amend it,
Okay.
like a motion to amend it, yeah.
So hearing that, I would entertain a motion to make an amendment to Mrs. DeShawn's motion that passed unanimously for the transfers to add a transfer of the dollar amount of $5,000 in Fund 101, Department 77357736, item 21, moving that over to item 23 within the same category, in the amount of $5,000 also as an emergency. Asking for a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Do I hear a second?
So I'll second because I want to talk about it. Where are you
All
taking
right.
the money out of?
Out of line item 21, which is the council clerk's salary, as Mr. Fankhauser pointed out, we had several weeks that we weren't paying a clerk, so moving $5,000 into the contractual services line item within the council clerk and council categories to be able to hire Kelly as a private contractor to come in and do some training with the new clerk. All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Moritz and a second by Mr. Me. Any further discussion? All right, Mr. Moritz,
Yes.
Mr. Me,
Yes.
Mrs. DeShawn.
I'm going to abstain.
Okay, and I'm a yes, motion carries. Mr. President, do you feel that that suffices your desires?
That should be fine.
Okay, my question is, if we're requesting this all as one piece of legislation, if there's any hesitation of anyone doing this, then it's gonna mess up the appropriations piece, if that makes sense, or the transfer piece. So should we do it as a separate piece, and that way if that portion gets voted down? I'm sorry, I know it's a little late.
That, I understand your point. That negates the exact thing we just discussed, trying to salvage having two pieces of legislation to accomplish one goal.
And, yeah, I know. Okay, it's fine. It's fine the way it is. I was just throwing it out there.
Okay.
May I make a suggestion?
You may.
If that's the case where someone does have hesitation to do it, you can actually re-amend on council floor to remove that, omit that transfer.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can still pass the.
So we can play it by ear.
Okay.
Okay.
So did the clerks union charge a fee for anything? or-
I would have to look it up. I don't know. I think the last one who used it was Megan Conley, maybe. I don't know if Susan Zolovic did or not. So I don't believe, I know Kelly didn't, and I don't know if Miranda Wise did either.
All right. Mr. Goldberg, was there further information on the income tax of the county that you wanted to discuss? I think that was alluded to possibly.
No.
Okay. Auditor, you have nothing else on that line, the agreement for income tax with the county?
Nope.
Okay. Mr. Mead, do you have any open projects you wish to discuss?
I'm good, thank you.
Mr. Moritz?
I'm good.
Mrs. DeShawn?
No, I have nothing to talk about.
Okay, public participation. Seeing none, the Finance Committee will adjourn at 6:30 PM.
Health and safety, October 16th, 2025.
I call the Health and Safety Committee meeting to order at 6:31 PM. Members present. Guess I could just look at everybody. Are Kevin Myers, C. Aaron Sherrick, James Me, and myself, Vicki DeShawn, as chair. First on the agenda, public participation. Anybody wishing to speak to the committee, please come to the podium and state your name and residential address. Seeing no one, first thing I had on our agenda that was sent to all of the committee members, taxi cab licensing. Before we pull up that particular legislation draft, I do want to make a comment. At the September 18th committee meeting, I misspoke, and I need to confirm that at that time I had stated that I had emailed to Law Director Gobrick my 8/21/25 email and attachment on the taxi cab licensing. Mr. Gobrick had indicated at that time that he had not received that email. Well, later, when I went home and was looking at the paperwork that I was reading from, I discovered that yes, I did have an email, but it said draft, so I had never sent the email out. So Mr. Gobrick was correct that he did in fact not receive that email that I said I sent, because I did not send it. So I do wish to clarify that I did misspeak at that time, and I apologize to you, Mr. Gobrick, for saying I sent that email. Okay, going on.
Emails for this exact reason.
Taxi cab licensing was sent to the committee members, the last draft that we've received from the law director. I'm assuming everyone's had a chance to look that over. And does anybody have any questions? Aaron, you had sent an email about trying to keep the fees out of the legislation. Are you still of that mind?
Yeah, we'd asked before that we just had it listed.
When we talked with the service committee the other day, if I could ask the law director, but we had mentioned about creating a brand new piece of legislation that basically sets fees and fines all over the place. Would something like this fill in with what I was asking for?
Well, let me look at the.
Or does it begin to get too broad
Let
when
me
it
look at the ordinance.
jumps
If you're
across?
if you're gonna say it's gonna be put into one separate section and all the various different things are gonna be put into that, that's too much.
Okay.
But you can have one for, like, at the end of the section, so.
But before we had agreed that the office, like, what's the fees, could have it listed there. Because they would be the ones that would know whether or not things need to change. Like,
Yeah, you know,
if
the
cost
public
of-
does need to have a place they can see what the fee is, whether that's on the website, whether that's in a piece of ordinance. I just don't want us to be able to just say, well, it's whatever, the fee's what the fee is. I mean, I think the public needs to know what the fee is, but I'm absolutely in favor of not having dollar figures in any legislation if possible.
I actually think we should have all the fees on the website, but then, like, if you're looking up taxi cab licensing, where do you do that? I mean, you think you
Can you see
can
that for a
find
sec,
it?
Vicki? Yeah, I don't see why we can't put in like 3.1.07 and just have that be the table, and then have all of the other sections just refer to
Well,
that table.
that doesn't accomplish my goal. Is there any way to put more fees into a piece of legislation where, because what you're saying is just 381 still would have fees in it.
Right.
That doesn't fix my concern. That if they want to raise these fees next year, now we're going to go back and pass several pieces of legislation again. If we had one, my goal was kind of like what we do with the billing. You have one piece of ordinance that has all of the fees all across the entire city. it might get updated annually, such as the way the bill does, or such as the way the budget does.
That's something I can look into.
But I think we're probably too far away from,
Because there are some things that are required to be set by council. There are some things that are not required to be set by council, so it's something I can look into.
so it's probably a bigger project, and we should just pass this as it is right now and then change it later, is that?
Yes.
Okay.
And there was one other thing that I noted that I would like removed. Page 4 of 5, above 381.06, compliance with laws. We make reference to an ordinance number and when it was passed. And I know you've had that in others, and I removed those only because Walter Drain picks up on all that, and they always put it in their,
Okay.
so I don't feel that it's
To save our
necessary.
publishing fees with that.
Correct, yeah.
I agree.
So then with that particular ordinance, everything looks great. You will be taking out that ordinance 20-2023 past 6623, which is above 381.06 compliance with laws. And that's ready to go.
Great. You want to take like a 5-minute recess? Because if that's the only thing, we can get that passed tonight.
I was gonna say, we could pass it on the full council, if I could make a motion as amended, and pass it on the full council.
each other. If it's, yeah.
Yes, as Kevin has says, if you want to then email that to us, Mr. Goldberg, prior to our next council meeting, so that the committee has a chance to look it over and make sure that we've removed that little blurby there. So I guess what I'll do is entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to pass it on the full council as amended.
Second.
Second? All right, here. Motion by Sherrick, second by Myers. Roll call. Sherrick,
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Me,
Yes.
and myself, yes. Okey dokey. One down. Okay, next. Peddlers and solicitors. That's another draft that was emailed out to the committee, the latest draft that the law director had prepared. Does anybody have any questions?
Was your correction made that you requested?
I thought I'd let you talk and then I can talk
Well,
first.
I mean, you
Sure.
sent that email.
Yes, yes.
I didn't know if that had been made, if you'd seen that.
I had not received back from the law director a draft showing that change had been made. And what Aaron is referring to is page 9 of 9, or not 9 of 9, 9 of 12. And if you look under 711.09, where it starts lettering, 1, 2, 3, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5. We just need to renumber.
Didn't I send you that?
Well, you said you would, but I never got that.
Probably stuck in a draft.
Very easily.
I deserve that.
You did.
Because I didn't see anything else.
And so, no, just, the renumbering. There was that. This is very minute, but you know me. On page 6 of 12, since we're changing, the word push cart. That is a small c. It's one word, just push cart. No capital C. And then the law director, you had asked the question on page 12 of 12, does this really need to be an emergency at this point? Because I had questioned in section 3, the basis for the emergency, it states it's declared an emergency in that the season for peddlers and solicitors is soon to be upon us. Well, I said, hey, it's here. And then that's where the law director questioned, does this really need to be an emergency? Yes. this has gone on over a year, and we've got people that are still ringing doorbells, and yes, I think, and we had said this would be an emergency.
And we've got people asking about it.
Yes, exactly. So, yes, I do believe it needs to be an emergency. I just feel you maybe need to change your verbiage there and don't say that it's soon to be upon us, because, again,
It'll soon be upon us every year.
so, if you can figure out some verbiage that we like to replace that. Okay, so you're just going to be changing the numbering on page 9 of 12.
I've already got that done.
Wonderful.
Add in the emergency again, so.
Actually,
And then you're going to change push cart.
And where is that?
That's on page 6 of 12.
and in all honesty, you could just leave that line out about measure of that covers soon be upon us. That could just be omitted, but there's no.
All right. So that this ordinance is hereby declared to be an emergency measure, the same being necessary for the preservation of?
Yep,
I'm fine with that.
nice, quick and easy.
Do you see what we're,
On the final page.
where we're talking about?
Yeah, I can do that.
Page 12 of 12?
Okay, then I would make a motion to pass that as we've amended it and
Requesting the emergency
requesting it as
legislation.
an emergency.
Right.
Perfect. I'll second that.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. Motion by Sherrick, second by Myers. Roll call. Sherrick.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
And myself, Deshawn, yes.
That's two.
Yes. All right. I saved this one last. Temporary business, food truck. You got that,
Is Chad here? Chad is not here.
first off, one question that I had, Mr. Goldberg, was throughout we refer to their designee, and then there's some places where we just say designee. So, you know, I mentioned, I just feel it should be consistent. We're either going to say their designee, which that's what we said in the other pieces. But that's my thought. I don't know what the committee's thought is.
No, I like the,
Their designee?
While we're fixing it, let's fix it.
Yep. So if you'll look at page 3 of 8, under number 16, before designee, we'll put in the word there. I'm doing this slowly. I'm figuring the law director's following.
Yes.
And just let me know when you've got that taken care of. Please.
All right.
Then we go down to number D on page 3 of 8. First line where it says designee, and put there in front of it.
Okay.
Page 4 of 8, F, first line. Same thing there, their designee.
I already have all of these changed.
Well, this was the last draft that was,
He didn't send it after last meeting, we were correcting it at the last meeting. I'm not seeing it since then, sent to us, it was sent 10-1.
well, all I'm saying is this is the last that I received. So all I could go off is what you know, I was given.
Yeah, I was just looking at the date where the email came in with the last draft, and that was 10/1.
Yes, I've got 10-1. That was forwarded to me by, well, let's see, please find catch a copy. That was back then. Well, 10-1 was when I sent to you. Well, that was where I sent the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you've got them, but let's just, because I would like to get this done. We're on page 4 of 8, is that where we left off?
Right.
All right, under F, you say you have their designee. Number 3, second line. Their designee,
Yes.
all right. Page 5 of 8, under 70904, deposit for cleaning premises. Second line up, starts out with designee, you'll want to put there,
Yep.
okay? Then under C on that same page, last line, you want to put there.
Yep.
Page 6 of 8. 7th line up, first paragraph. Same thing,
Got it.
all right. 70908, last sentence.
Or their designee.
Pardon?
Or their designee. I've got that.
All right. Okay, so we've got that there.
We need to change the clerk's name though.
Well, I haven't got to that yet.
Just noticed a grammatical error.
Okay, where?
70907B.
Where are you? 70907B.
The Bucyrus Fire Department shall adopt and employ and update as necessary a comprehensive inspection scheme for mobile food vendors, should be plural vendors there.
Okay. We'll wait and make sure that the law directors got that.
70907B. You've already got it, says vendors. Okay, he's got it.
Okay. Now, the question that I had in one of my emails that I sent to all is that way back, you had deletions that you were suggesting, and you had them highlighted in red, and then you had a purple area highlighted as ambiguous. And I questioned that those are still in the draft, but they're not highlighted anymore. And that's where you had indicated that I believe the suggested deletions were discussed and the decision to keep them was made and the ambiguity was explained. That's why I took the highlights off. I'm not finding where that discussion was ever held. I mean, I did a timeline of each meeting, and I just want to make sure we want those
I will say, while some of the things were ambiguous, none of them were contradictory.
only one, he only had one area marked as ambiguous.
That was 709.05.
Right.
It says, this section shall not apply to.
Well, wait a minute.
residents of the city
Ambiguous.
selling their own personal property not originally acquired for resale, or foodstuffs, or foods or foodstuffs produced and or prepared at the residence.
All right.
Should say residential property.
Where are you at?
70905.
Okay, first off,
That's the only one I show is purple.
Brandon?
The one that I
Are
showed,
those numbers underneath there properly now, under A?
Yeah, because it was one,
Because it's
two,
1,
three,
3,
two.
2.
Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
okay.
Just making sure that it was definitely numbered oddly.
The purple ambiguous one that you had on what you gave me was under 709.02, well, page 4 of 8, number 4. That was what was marked in purple on the drafts that I received from you. And there was only, I think there might have been another, but you took care of that.
Right.
You took care of that. I guess if you're wanting to leave in the areas that you had highlighted in red, even though I'm not finding where the committee itself agreed to that or said to do that, okay. But let's take a look at page 2 of 8, under 70902A. Every person, whether principal or agent, who proposes to conduct or engage in a temporary business for the sale of goods, wares, merchandise, food, property that is tangible and/or intangible of any nature whatsoever, or services in any capacity, and here's what you had in red to delete, but you've left it in, and services within the city shall before opening same and before offering for sale such goods, wares, shall procure a license to do so. I mean, if the committee's fine, but I mean, we had not decided, these were your suggested deletions.
So, if you read it, and services within the city, it's saying like, they're servicing the city. So that was why it confused me when I read it and suggested that part be deleted. But it's, what it's conveying is that it's basically a temporary business that is servicing the city.
So I guess what you're saying is before, when you had in red what you were suggesting to be deleted, you yourself have now decided, no, I don't think they need to be deleted.
Right.
And that's why you're including them with no red on it.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, and in that particular
Okay.
one, it talks about, A, somebody who wants to propose to conduct or engage, and then the part that were saying initially was mentioned to be removed, says, or anybody who's going to actually do it. So I think it does need to be left as it
Right.
reads right now.
okay. And it's just my concern was that I knew we hadn't, as a committee, said.
In that instance, I
Okay.
believe it's correct.
All right, then we'll just forget my mentioning any of that. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you'll take a look at page 5 of, well, let's go with page 4 of 8. Down at the bottom, 709.03. If we're going to number 1, 2, and we skip to the next page, we're going to want 2 to be 3.
70903. This is already correct, 1, 2, 3.
Thanks for getting it.
Okay, then let me ask you this. On your 709.05, where it's 1, 2,
Yeah, he
Yep,
didn't
Aaron
say
already brought that
correct,
one up
but I
and he
asked about
fixed
that
it.
one.
okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I just don't know where, no, I'm not going to say anything.
So,
Okay, now, next question. We've addressed those two. Does this piece of legislation address the acceptance of the fire code? I'm not finding it in here, and maybe it's because I'm not understanding.
I
We-
don't remember Chad ever coming up to the meeting like he said he was going to.
Well, I believe the former clerk was asked to invite him. I don't know if that happened.
I don't know if that happened.
Okay, now I thought he was coming for the purpose of the inspection fee, because we didn't want to put in the legislation a dollar amount.
Correct.
We just wanted to reference
Allow
that.
him to set the fee,
Right.
yes.
I didn't know that he had anything to do with the inclusion in here of the acceptance of the fire
It's
code.
my understanding we don't need to do that because the fire code is the fire code and he is a fire department within the state of Ohio that is bound by the laws of the Ohio Administrative and Ohio Revised Codes. So I don't think that we need to mention that. I think that he can do that without.
Yes.
Even though we had talked about that in committee meetings and said we need the legislation to be amended to include.
But Mr. White just said you just include that if we follow the Ohio Fire Code,
Yeah.
then that would cover it.
Okay, so do you have that in there? If that's what was said before, that we follow the Ohio Fire Code? Did you notice that in this draft? Of course, like I say, I mean,
my
you don't have a
statement
latest
was, I
draft.
don't believe it needs to be in here.
Okay.
Which section are we on?
I don't know,
That's the
because
question.
I'm not seeing it in the draft I have, but then I don't have the latest draft, it would appear. Which then, of course, you folks don't have the latest
No, I don't
draft.
have that.
You don't? Okay.
That was for
The fire code
having
making,
them checked.
Yeah. Whether, do we want to have, we should probably try to bring the fire chief in to our next meeting to finalize this, to make sure we're all on the same page, we're not duplicating anything and not.
then, can you, Mr. Goldberg, can you email to me this latest
Yes.
draft that you have there? And I will contact the fire chief. Or would you like to contact the fire chief?
If you would like me to, I
Yes,
will.
if you would.
And
Would
ask
you
him
please?
to
Yes.
come to our next meeting. And when you email it to Vicky, you send it to me.
Well, yes, yes, email it to all committee members, I'm sorry.
And the chief, right?
Well, yeah, or I can take it with me to.
Yeah,
to
something
meet,
so you
is that
can
my
see
plan?
it.
Yep,
And do we need something in here talking about inspections?
right.
Yes, that was the other thing. Yeah, as I had mentioned, where we don't put the dollar amount. And then we're back to the same thing, Aaron's inquiry on fees, because this particular piece also refers to fees.
He said it's gonna take him too long to set up the new.
So we leave it in here, okay, great. Okay, other than that, I'm getting the fire chief in, and we should be ready to go on that.
Cool.
Thank you. You need to take those out, listen to us. Okay. Anybody have anything else on the food? Temporary business food truck? All right, then, any open projects you want to discuss?
Nope.
Okay, any more public participation?
Well, I guess I need to forget, so someone else.
I'm gonna break down this. Need to break.
Okay, first question I have is, who's going to be keeping track of payments for all these permits and fees? I'm not sure if the fire department's able to take payment. Yeah, I know. Secondly, with the solicitor's permits, with people going around knocking on doors for Omni-Fiber, Brightspeed and all, currently anybody that's doing work in town is required to have a contractor's registration, proof of certificate of liability insurance, workman's comp form, tax form filled out.
They just show all of that to get their ID, correct?
I don't know.
If they come to-
I've never done any of the solicitor.
Yeah,
permits.
if they come to a resident's door, they don't need to ask to see all of those pieces, they just need to ask to see
They should,
their-
I think they
their
should
city
show a contractor's registration certificate, but I'm not sure how we can regulate a door knocker that works, even with being a subcontractor of a utility that falls under PUCO. I mean, being a subcontractor of Omni Fiber, I mean, all the installer construction companies are registered with us, but I am not sure about sales. I mean, I know they should be. I mean, if they did a blanket contractor registration for anybody that is, then they would have the contractor registration number, which I think that'd be a good idea, so we can track where they've been. So, yeah, I just want to know who's going to be taking care of it. I already know the answer, but I just would like to hear it. So,
It's your new job.
thanks, Jim.
You're welcome. Hey, don't make me back off my jokes, I already volunteered.
So, yeah, I'd just like to see, I mean, I would like to see him register as a contractor. So, anybody that's coming in to do it. So, just to have an additional thing of photo with PD and all that. So, just have to find out how much it was going to be charged. So I know how much to charge. Because currently, right now, contractor registration's $100 a year. Renewal's $25, it's going up first year to $50. So I just want to know how much the solicitor's permit is currently, unless it's going up.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for here, too.
I remember now. Clarissa Slater, 3645 State Route 4. I know you guys said something about bringing the fire chief in. Could it be like a phone conversation? Does he have to come in? I'm just saying, like, does it have to be where he comes into the next meeting, or you just like talk to him?
If he has nothing else to add, then.
I mean, that was my thought, was, because I know he's got, did he just have a grandbaby? Or he's about to have a grandbaby?
Oh, I have no
Someone said
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know if he'd want to, drag himself up here when, so.
Alena Fox, 401 Ridge Avenue. I just have a question. Is there anything on the books or code to prevent residents from putting a sign on their door or property explicitly saying no soliciting? I know back in the day that was, yes. Thank you.
There's a penalty if they ignore that.
Right. So that's what I was just going to suggest, because I hadn't heard that in any of the meetings, so.
I have one
I
on
was
my
gonna-
door.
Yeah, I was
We
going to
talked about
suggest that,
way
so.
back when the-
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Just wanted to make sure that the residents heard that too and took advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Stuckert?
Bill Stuckert, 205 North Spring Street. The issue of the Property Maintenance Board appointments. Do we know, Mr. Gobert, did Alyssa make contact with Mr. McCarthy yet to determine if he is interested yet?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge.
I didn't realize he hadn't been contacted.
Okay, well, I
Do you
think
have a
that...
way to get a hold of him?
I could ask his wife.
I was thinking that-
Agreed.
Bad idea. Do you have his phone number?
I do not have his phone number. No.
I know where he lives.
Does he have a no
In fact,
soliciting
all I
sign?
have is his
Solicit.
previous address when he was...
Omni Fiber.
Or Brightspeed?
Sometimes Brightspeed, and I'm wondering if you're still willing to be.
I assumed that Alyssa had his phone number,
Gotcha.
so, because she
I
was...
don't think she ever got in touch with him. think
Okay.
she's still trying to find somebody who has his number.
I can ask Jan across the street.
Okay.
So this has been dragging on for quite a
Yes.
while now, and,
Mhm.
you know, I think if we don't make contact pretty soon, then we need to move forward with the other appointments then.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
And I'm glad you brought it up. I was going through all my papers that I have on my tables at home of our open projects. And I thought, okay, I knew we were going to discuss these three, and I know they're, so I thought, I'm not going to push it too much, and I'll do that at the next meeting, but thank you for bringing it up.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you.
So Aaron, you're going to be checking
I
with,
will get his phone number and then I'll follow through.
All right.
you'll follow through with
Yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
Ed? Okay, Mr. McCarthy? All right, great.
I'm writing it down, Aaron.
Look, me too.
Yep, we're writing your name down. Aaron said.
Jim.
Okay, so if there's no more public participation, we will adjourn the Health and Safety Committee meeting at 7:08 PM.
Lands and buildings, October 16th.
Platting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bye.
Hey, let me start over. Platting Committee, October 16th, 2025.
Platting Committee will come to order at 7:10. Vicky DeShawn, Clarissa Slater, Aaron Sherrick, Jim Me, Chair. Public participation. Nothing? All right, is there anything on the list? I didn't see anything.
I'm saving it for next committee meeting.
Okay. Any more public participation? Anything on the, no?
Open projects, no.
I'm trying to run it for 2 minutes.
Oh, and I guess that's what I was saving for the next committee meeting, open projects.
Just do it.
Zoning change.
Huh?
Zoning change.
That's in the zoning committee.
Yeah, it's in the zoning committee. Okay.
Adjourn.
Platting adjourned at 7:12.
I am so sorry.
Public lands and buildings.
Start over.
Are we in the twilight zone? Like everyone's getting out.
Yes.
This is, I'm gonna jinx it, but what's happening?
Buildings Committee, October 16th, 2025.
Calling public lands and buildings to order at 7:12 PM. Members present, Chris Moritz, Terry Spiegel, Clarissa Scheffler Slater, and myself, Sierra and Sherrick as chair. Do we have any public participation?
This is a construction update for the new street that is being built up by Avita. They poured the concrete curbs today. Tentative paving is Saturday morning of this week. And sidewalks are planned for either Monday afternoon or Tuesday of next week, depending on how much rain we get Sunday. So project's moving along pretty well. They were pouring the therapy tank foundation this afternoon after they did the curbing. So it's going along pretty well. They're still behind schedule, but they should be good with their time frame.
Awesome.
So that's about it for public thing.
Update.
Well, I was going to give a full construction update on some projects, but that's the only one that's directly tied for right away. So
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any more public participation? Do we have anything on open projects we need to talk about right now?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Any more public participation? Seeing none, I'm adjourning at 7:14 PM.
October 16th, 2025.
Service Committee called to order at 7:14. Members present, Kevin Myers here and Sherrick. Terry Spiegel, I myself, Chris Mertz, Chair. Any public participation at this time? Seeing none, moving on. I received a letter yesterday from Dylan Wyatt, Vice President of McKeefe and Associates. I have Mike here to read that for us regarding, what's it regarding? Crowder Road water line expansion project.
All right, this is a summary. This is a letter that Dylan Wyatt sent, Service Committee. Dwayne Iyer, thank you, located at 2140 Crowder Road, approached the city in June of this year about extending a water main to his residence to replace an aging pond filtration system that he currently utilizes for drinking water. His property is not contiguous to the new water main on State Route 4 south of town. We informed him of the process to extend a water main to his house, including hiring an engineer to prepare plans, submittal to the Ohio EPA, construction of the water main, and finally turning over the water main to the city after construction has been completed. He has hired an engineer to perform the plans, is now ready to submit to the EPA. Based on BCO 914.01G, any extensions beyond the city limits must have the approval of council by means of the necessary and proper legislation before any construction can be undertaken. This water main extension is being installed to city standards, will be inspected by the water distribution foreman, and will be turned over to the city at the conclusion of construction. Most importantly, there will be no costs incurred by the city. Legislation will need to be passed by full council to allow this extension to take place. We request that this is completed as an emergency, since Mr. Iyer was already so far down this path when we realized this needed to come before council. Thank you, Dylan J. Wyatt, PE, Vice President, McKeefe and Associates.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mike?
So you need
Good.
a motion for legislation for this project?
I need motion for legislation for this project.
As an emergency?
As an emergency,
I'll make that
according
motion.
to Ohio EPA and
Dylan
Bucyrus
White.
codified ordinance 914-01G
I'll second.
as an emergency.
I'll second that.
First was Aaron, second Terry. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Any more public participation? Seeing none, we will adjourn at 7:18.